This is Matrixlord 212, and it's just hours away from the name of the doctor, and the speculation continues. Who is the doctor? What is his name? Who is Clara Oswin Oswald? You know, what is the doctor's biggest secret? Who dies in the episode? How do we go from here? What happens in the 50th anniversary? What happens in Series 8? It all starts in a matter of hours, and the speculation, like as I say, continues. I've been trying all night, been guessing to see who he is, trying to figure it out, and I came to another conclusion just a little while ago. What if the doctor had messed around with time on Gallifrey, where he had traveled and messed around with their own timeline from different decades and centuries and billions of years, and he is the reason why the Time Lords do not interfere. Maybe he was punished. Maybe back in the day he was like a Loki type character, a trickster, messing around, and he wasn't really evil. Like the Master was evil, but due to one of his pranks or mischievous deeds, it caused maybe a race to be prevented or something to that effect. And maybe he wanted to restore that race, and the Time Lord said no. I mean, there's a lot. The secret has got to be on a huge scale. I mean, I was even thinking that, the Time Lords are the last survivors of Earth. That, after so many decades and centuries have passed, they forgot that they are what's left of the planet Earth, and only the Doctor knows. And, you really don't want to tell the origins of the Time Lords, because then someone, if they have the time travel technology, could prevent the Time Lords, which would be even worse. So do you imagine that the Time Lords are actually the survivors of Earth in the far, far future? Maybe the Doctor is not only the last of the Time Lords, but the first Time Lord. Okay, he from Silver Nemesis episode, they said he was around during the dark times in the beginning stages. We thought that he wasn't part of that. That when we saw the three Doctors, Omega was supposed to be way before his time. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe that it could be that he accidentally sabotaged Omega's time travel experiment, thereby creating time travel in the first place and trapping Omega in that dimension. And nobody ever knew. Even Omega didn't even know who he was, because he probably had such an ego that he saw himself like he didn't even know who was working for him. That's why he probably didn't recognize the Doctor, And that's the Doctor's biggest secret, that he hides the fact that he's the reason why time travel was created, because if they find that out, then there will be no time travel. Everything would be erased. They would prevent him from sabotaging, I guess. I mean, this is just one of my crazy theories, okay? Sort of like a butterfly effect. Like if the Doctor's enemies found out that he was the one that accidentally, like all Omega's calculations and everything would have not panned out, and because he messed around, like he was young and messed around, like he caused the thing to go wrong, and caused them to develop time travel technology, not Omega, and he just let them believe that, it would, and then maybe different things happen. Like maybe there was a select few people that knew that, the Doctor did that, and he took, maybe he ran away. He took, Susan, his granddaughter, and just took off from Gallifrey. I mean, like I said, I always envisioned that he stole the TARDIS before he got married, before he had a kid, before he had a granddaughter. All this talk about him stealing the TARDIS with the granddaughter, I don't understand that, because in the Doctor's wife, the way the TARDIS is talking to him, it's not like she mentioned, hey, when you and Susan stole the TARDIS. She'd say, when you stole the TARDIS. It would fit that he would have time to travel in the TARDIS, explore, and then, get married, have a kid, have a granddaughter, instead of just, stealing it for the first time with his granddaughter. That would be a plot hole, I think, and wouldn't make any sense. But who dies in this episode? Well, Clara Oswin Oswald probably dies for the third, or I don't know how many time. River Song probably dies for real. but it wouldn't really matter because he's meeting her out of order. So all her other adventures, she would be there. I mean, she's in Series 8. They said River Song is back for Series 8. So it would mean, that she possibly does die in this episode. Like I said, when the Doctor's about to say his name, I do expect like 10 or 11 TARDISes showing up. And the big cliffhanger would be John Hurt showing up. Maybe. And saying, hey, I'm the Ninth Doctor. I mean, just as the enemy's defeated. I definitely expect one of the Doctors to show up, if not 10 or 11. I definitely expect David Tennant or the Second Doctor. That's what I'm looking for. I'm expecting to see the Second Doctor or the 10th Doctor. If not, then all of them to save the day. And as far as Clara goes, who is she? Who is she? Is she, I mean, the thing is, we didn't see actually her being born. We saw, her father holding her as a child. We don't know. That woman is saying that that's the mother. But like I said, like they never show it. They never show Clara being born. They show, just an appearance where, she's with her parents. And if she's scattered through time and she has different parents and is born like 1,000 times, she's got to be someone else. Could she be Romana? Could she be Madame de Pompadour? Don't know. Okay? Could it be something to do with England and the Queen and something that's been following him all this time? Don't know. There's got to be a reason why the Doctor constantly travels to Earth if he's an alien. Out of all the billions of planets in the universe, that's got to make sense. Maybe Susan is half human. Maybe she isn't his granddaughter, like we're led to believe. Maybe she's the daughter of his companion that died. I mean, we don't know. I mean, there's got to be a reason, too, why the Doctor, for like 1,200 years, does not want to fall in love, have a relationship with anybody. Something happened. He almost had that with Rose. Almost. Okay? And now with Clara, they tried to make it like River Song was his wife and she's in love with him, but you never got the impression that he felt the same way. And they're throwing all love into it in the new series. They never really had that in the old series. So, it looks like Clara, they're making them like they're going to, he's going to have a relationship after I don't know how many centuries and stuff, which I don't know how that's going to fit in with River Song. But I just hope that they don't undo the Doctor's history. I mean, a lot of different things could happen. Maybe the Great Intelligence took River out of the library. Maybe the Great Intelligence has her journal. Maybe they are altering time systematically, and it's like not even catching up to the Doctor yet. We don't know. I mean, whatever happens, obviously it's going to lead into the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. John Hurt, famous for a lot of movies like Alien and Baron Munchausen and V for Vendetta and a whole bunch of other movies, Scandal, a lot of different movies. I'd have to do a whole video and list it for like over 20 minutes probably. So, not going to do that, but John Hurt playing the real Ninth Doctor throws a big monkey wrench into the works because, that would throw off all the numbering of the Doctors. Like Christopher Eccleston will be the 10th, David Tennant will be the 11th, Matt Smith will be the 12th, and then technically he can still regenerate one more time. So, because you only can regenerate 12 times. Now, if you're the first Doctor and you regenerate into the second, that's counted as one, okay? So you would technically have 13 Doctors with 12 regenerations. That's how it is, okay? But, take into effect also, a regeneration energy was used up, possibly, in Stolen Earth, and for River Song. And we don't know if River Song gave the Doctor more regenerations. We don't know if in the episode called Mordred Undead with the 5th Doctor, where all that energy of the Brigadier touching his younger self exploded and gave the Doctor, with that amount of energy, more regenerations. We don't know that either. As it stands right now, I think that the Doctor doesn't have any more regenerations. And that's going to play a big role in the 50th anniversary. And Omega is probably the big fish. The big fish that Stephen Moffat's been hinting at since Series 5 or before that. As far as the Bird Tweet references go, naming people like Sally Sparrow and Nightingale and Ravenwood, the bird tweets in certain episodes to signify dreams. It's all part of, like, I think, a dream dictionary, because they keep mentioning fish in every episode. They keep showing red balloons, which I think red balloons signifies something, and a lot of the characters are wearing red. Stephen Moffat's really going deep on the psychological front, and I've been trying to crack this code for like years. The letter that's inside the book has the name, I think, Oscar or something like that. I forget, Osher, whatever. It's to do with Alaska and some type of fish facility, which in the future Clara works for Starship Alaska, and I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of things going on. You have to go back and watch Stephen Moffat's episodes over and over and over. Every time you watch this episode, it's something new. You see something new, and it's really, really exciting. I think that's why, Doctor Who is exciting, because Stephen Moffat makes it where it's backwards compatible. Like, you could go back and find new stuff. And you're like, oh, they did that in Series 8, or Series 7, Series 6. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't think, if Stephen Moffat wasn't writing this, I don't think there'd be half the sites. I mean, Russell T. Davies combined with Stephen Moffat, yes, that's why we have all these Doctor Who sites, because people are interested in the show. But, like I said, if Moffat wasn't part of it right now as a showrunner, we wouldn't have half these sites. We wouldn't have half these videos. I don't even think we would have the Real Whovians cast, to tell you the truth. I mean, maybe we might. I don't know. That's something, I mean, and when who's going to take over? Who's going to be big enough to take over for Moffat, where they're going to make it interesting enough? Now, I probably wouldn't have gone down this road. After 50 years, they got to reveal the character's name, because if you reveal the Doctor's true name, the show's over. It's called Doctor Who for a reason. You're not supposed to know who he is. The moment you reveal it, the show is over. So I really hope he doesn't do that. I hope he doesn't piss off some of us Whovians from we've been watching since we were like young kids, And I really hope that he honors the show and not tries to put his own thing on it, where he basically rewrites what all the other writers have written. That's the big thing. I mean, I'm going to go into this episode where I'm going to think it's going to be 10 out of 10, a positive thing. I mean, just the emotional scene alone of the Doctor crying his eyes out, which you never really see, that was a powerful scene. Okay? Clara talking to River Song is a powerful scene. Trenzalore, I'm hearing rumors that from everybody that it's the TARDIS inside out. Don't know. I mean, that whole planet is actually the TARDIS. I don't know. But I can't wait for this episode. We have been talking about this season for 2 years almost, and that is why it culminates into this one episode. After this, Doctor Who will not return until November, guys. So, while the Real Whovians cast will continue in some capacity, maybe not so many a week, or maybe for the first couple of weeks it will. After a while, of course, me and my fellow Whovians will be we're already doing other shows. We're doing different things like movies and comics and just whatever, like shows. I mean, so, it's going to be a thing where there's going to be a quiet period of Doctor Who, unfortunately. That's the sad part, really. After all this, we've been making videos constantly for a year and a half, and now all of a sudden silence will fall on us because there's going to be nothing to talk about. So, still, I look forward to this episode. I look forward to what they're going to be filming in a couple of weeks. I think at the end of June or sometime in June. That's what I was told. And Dr. Freedom was told in July. I thought it was Series 8 that they were filming, and that's another monkey wrench that's thrown into the thing. What the heck is going on with Matt Smith? Okay? He's filming in America, in Detroit, Michigan, How to Catch a Monster. He shaved his head. He looks like he's got abs. I don't even know he was working out. I don't know what's happening. Nobody would admit that he signed. They put all these phony articles out. Now the Sun, which I don't know if it's really reliable, say that he said he's staying for Series 8, but yet you don't see it on the BBC site or Doctor Who News or any of that. So I'm a little worried, man. I mean, Doctor Who TV UK is reporting it, and Digital Spy, and I reported it, that they reported it, but I don't know why I feel he filmed his regeneration already for the Christmas special, maybe the first 5 minutes. I don't know why. I just have this feeling that this article is just to distract us that he regenerated already. To distract us away that there's a 12th Doctor, that, you know, I mean, I think that they really don't want to take anything away from the 50th anniversary, where they're throwing all these things out there so you're not distracted. They want you to focus on the 50th anniversary, not that there's a 12th Doctor, not that there's a Series 8, not that this one's signed, that one's signed. And I can understand that, you know. But like I said, the original problem was, you know that the 50th anniversary is coming. You don't let Matt Smith's contract end after the 50th anniversary. That is the stupidest contract I've ever seen in my life. If I was doing that contract, he would have been signed the year after, purposely, or the year before, because you can't, you don't want to take away from the 50th anniversary. You know, now you got to sit down and you got to talk, and then you still got to pick the 12th Doctor, so that maybe that's why we don't have a Series 8 this year. I'm thinking that Moffat was hiring the 12th Doctor January, February, March. Because when is the guy going to sit down and be able to pick the actor if he's writing episodes and filming episodes? This guy's the showrunner of Doctor Who and Sherlock, and he does movie scripts like Tintin. He is everywhere. He's also a father, a husband. He has a life. When do you expect this guy to pick the 12th Doctor? Think about that for a minute. He can't do anything else. You can't have your mind filming Doctor Who when you got to pick the replacement. So I'm thinking he picked it January, February, March. I'm thinking that Matt Smith filmed the regeneration already. That, you know, just like they had David Tennant and Billy Piper, and you know, they threw that, you know, like they have the Christmas Invasion. I'm thinking they did like a 5-minute thing that maybe at the result of the 50th anniversary, nobody knows, but he's mortally wounded or something, or he's hurt, and he sees his hand glow like he's going to regenerate, and Clara's like, "You're all right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then boom, Christmas special, first 5 minutes, he regenerates, and that would be like the game changer right there. So then again, could be wrong. Matt Smith could be signed. I'm going to be looking today before the episode to see if Matt Smith made a video about it. If I actually see him say it, then I'll 100% believe it. But right now, it's like I'm actually half and half right now. I mean, I'm more than what I was because these big sites like Doctor Who TV UK and Digital Spy are reporting it, but I still have a bad feeling that, you know, he's not signed. So, oh boy, the drama continues for one more day, people. One more day, and then we won't know what to do with ourselves. Okay, so, all right, guys. Enjoyed naming the Doctor. Take care. Bye for now.